Hi, I'm Joseph Mounsey,
I'm Jacob Lachner.
Hey everybody, I'm Dylan Ragland.
and for our project, Bill, Jacob, and I will be working with a band that goes by the name of Slay the Day to record their full EP onto tape, which we'll then plan to transfer that from the tape onto Pro Tools for delivery to both the band and the board of professors. Our goals with this project are to learn more about the process of recording analog to tape and becoming proficient with operating the ATR.
So our project is relevant to our careers because over the course of the project, we will be learning a very highly sought after, very marketable skill, which is the utilization of an analog tape recorder. During a portion of my research, I found out that roughly 4 out of 5 major professional recording studios both have permanent analog tape recording setups and a staff of around 4 to 6 individuals. So by learning these skills, we are making ourselves more valuable in a very competitive job market.
Our audience for this project in general is your everyday music consumer, but also the audio recording enthusiast, seems how we are delivering our final mix on what is considered a dead medium. In my research, I found a book titled Magnetic Recording, Wire and Tape by Michael Luxford Quartermain that was published in 1952. And according to Mr. Quartermain, there are some fine mechanical adjustments that can be made to significantly reduce the amount of distortion on magnetic tape recordings. One of those would be adjusting the gaps between the different heads on the tape, and this information may prove detrimental in helping us identify and solve any unwanted distortion issues before they occur.
So in my research, I found a source it's an album by the name of The Glow Part 2 by the Microphones. This album was recorded from May 2000 to March 2001, entirely on analog tape and gear, including the mixing and mastering process being done on outboard gear, such as tube compressors, tube EQs, etc. This album is laden with just such intense tube compression, analog distortion, and just the warm, deep sounds that we come to expect from analog tape. From the first track to the last, you can hear this effect, and I hope that in our EP we will have the same effect.
During my research, I came across an article by Richard Hess written in 2008 titled Tape Degradation Factors and Challenges in Predicting Tape Life. This article that I chose really just goes over the different types of tape that is used within analog recording and the different materials that they are made out of, and how that determines how long an analog tape recording may last. The information within this article can help our group to help us identify the type of tape that we will be working with once we acquire it, to make sure that it is in a good condition so that we may make sure that when we go into a recording session that we will even have good material once we finish recording. And the information in the article also will be important for whoever will end up being in charge of keeping the tape stored, along with how to properly care for them and how to notice what warning signs that they should look out for in case the tape does become damaged. So even if that occurs, they will be able to restore the tape before any irreversible damage is done. And for the pre-production portion of our project, we will start out meeting up with the band to learn about the acoustic goals of each song and to help solidify expectations with the dates that we want to have everything done by. And the next step would be to solidify the compositions using a DAW to have a reference during the actual recording process. And we would then record some rough demos as needed to reference back to in order to build out some ideas. And we would then need to make sure that we have the equipment needed for recording, which includes at least 2 reels of magnetic tape, the ATR, and we would also utilize the patch band cables. With this equipment, we will practice signal flow with the ATR until we are efficient enough to have the ability to run through a recording session smoothly.
For the actual production process of our project, we'll start out with tracking drums for the entire EP. That way we can set the tempo for each track, and then for that we'll have our set and microphones, stands, cables. We'll also be recording that into Pro Tools, so we can mix it down to a 2-track stereo file for the tape, since how we are using 8-track tape. And then we'll move on to the bass and vocal sessions using utilizing our analog outboard gear, and we'll be tracking that for the entire EP as well. And then we'll move on to guitar sessions for the entire EP, and then we'll move to aux tracking sections, so we can use or to record and track our any miscellaneous percussion, horns, anything they want to add in to achieve their desired sound.
So I think I speak for all of us in saying that the post-production in an analog space is something that we're very excited to explore. We'll be utilizing the outboard gear very heavily to achieve the sounds we're looking for the EP. This means a ton of signal flow. During the process, we'll be receiving critiques from our peers and professors to ensure we're on the right track. We'll call out for critiques periodically through the mixing and mastering process. We're planning to mix and master on analog tape, utilizing the outboard tube compressors, EQs, effects, etc., all the way up until the finalization and delivery to our board of professors.
And for the timeline, we're hoping to get the pre-production portion of the project done by December 20th, but this will also most likely change as time passes once we figure out more details about the project.
As well with the production process, we're hoping to have it finished at the latest by February 15th of 2021. Again, this is very tentative, depending on how quickly or how slowly we progress through our pre-production phase.
Regardless of how fast we go through any of these phases, we're hoping to have the entire process, including mixing, mastering, critique, final delivery. We're hoping to have that all done by March 20th, 2021.